Coach, how's the offseason been? What are some takeaways?
Wow, it's crazy to think we're less than 2 weeks away from opening up and getting the season rolling. We got some great work done in the summer and in preseason here in the fall with 5 new freshmen in. Abby Hoff coming back from an ACL injury. I feel like we've got kind of a split team of a lot of newcomers, and then obviously you'll see kind of the staples of Lauren Dickerson and Kendall McCoy and Savannah Kleesner and Bailey Reed and to round it off, Leah Purvis. So it's right now kind of blending almost 2 worlds together as we start here.
Is there anything that you can say that we might see differently from last season that we have, like you can look back and say, we didn't really have that last year?
Yeah, I think hopefully, I'm not sure if we're right there yet, but hopefully our depth will be one of our strengths this season. It's just kind of determines how fast our freshmen can pick up things and kind of handle the grind of a college basketball season. The second thing that comes to my mind too is just we'll be a little more athletic, being able to get up in the court hopefully a little faster. Defensively, we were very pretty simple last year with just our basic man-to-man and sprinkled in a little bit of zone, but hopefully we'll be able to get up and down the court and pressure a little bit more from that side and have bodies that can, cover a little bit more space than we did last year.
Second season as a head coach, are the nerves just kind of gone and you're feeling comfortable going into the next season, especially with the success from last year? Yeah,
it's amazing. People have asked me, what are the differences from year 1 to year 2? You're definitely more comfortable being in that hot seat a little bit more. But I've always been somebody that I think with my background doesn't worry too much about expectations or pressure because there's so much to get done on the court, right? Getting those freshmen feeling comfortable, giving them reps in practice. I know just having a better idea of what the MAC looks like, just kind of how to structure our team specifically this season with practice and getting that right amount of rest and recovery, but also pushing them pretty hard. That's going to be a staple of Miami basketball for years to come, is just our toughness, both mentally and physically. And I think you get a better idea just moving on after year 1 of kind of what that means and, trying to get the new guys caught up to that as well.
Are you finding with a year of experience under your belt and the players, more familiar with everything, are practices more efficient? Are you getting more done?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're maybe a little further ahead this year, but think about last year, we had 14, what it felt like, freshmen and a whole new coaching staff. So it is nice to have Leah Purvis and Bailey Reed and Kristen Levering and Kendall McCoy as our 4 seniors who, just as simple as the drills, right? The warm-up drills that we're going to start with, expectations of just how fast-paced practice is going to be, not a lot of time to kind of stand there and walk around and take a sip of water. So that's been good. I think at the same time, this is a time of the year where you have to build those small little things. So as much as you want to look bigger picture and say, okay, we got to get to this point at this time, if a drill or you don't get through half of your practice plan for whatever reason, you have to be able to take a step back and kind of reevaluate and make sure you get through the most important things. We have spent a lot of time trying to build our defense, especially this fall in our 21 practices up to this point. Summer was a little bit more skill work and offense, and now you're trying to kind of blend those two together. But yeah, the small things, as much as you want to shoot far ahead and say, okay, we're looking at opponents and this and that, so much of this is getting our team confident and that toughness that we talked about.
So how is everybody physically, and how's Abby looking?
Abby's, it's great to have her back. She's a player that we can put at a couple different positions. She's filled in on kind of being a little bit of a face-up post player in some ways. She's always been able to play on the perimeter. As a lefty, it makes her, dangerous in some ways. So really like where she's at. The big thing with her when you come up off a knee injury is just getting reps and getting that rust off a little bit. She looks physically great. And knock on wood, everybody else is overall feeling pretty good. We did lose one of our freshmen, Tiana Fulton, with a little foot injury. So she's going to be out for a few months. And she was somebody I thought with the departure of Molly McDonough and Meg Galloway and Kayla Brown, that brought some toughness to our team, that she could come in, a local kid that just down the road at Mason, Ohio. So her career's off to a little bit of a bumpy start, but I know she'll come back stronger than ever. And right now we're trying to get that great balance of getting enough rest and taking care of their bodies, but also obviously pushing pretty hard in practice.
You keep mentioning the 5 freshmen on the roster. What are you expecting them to bring to the lineup? And then also, how are you integrating them into the team culture so far?
I tell you what, never at any point have I ever heard in my career that a freshman goes, man, coach, this is easier than I thought it was going to be. And you try to anticipate that in the recruiting process as they're seniors in high school, saying, hey, this is going to be different no matter what accolades you had coming in. I think the big word for them is just finding some consistency. Their effort overall, led by Nia Clark and Kennedy Taylor, has been tremendous. It's now understanding that, where maybe you did that for an hour in high school, now it's a 2-hour practice and you got a senior beating on you. So the thing I love about this group, and I'm so excited to coach them for years to come, is they're fun to be around. They got great personalities. I mean, sometimes I joke with them, I go, guys, you didn't see me last year when sometimes my head was faced the other direction. And there's moments like that where they're spinning around. And, if you can get them to smile every once in a while and not take it too seriously and just have that mindset of every day try and get a little better. Every drill try and get a little better. I think by the time this is all said and done, so many people, they want that immediate gratification of I'm going to be exactly where I want to be. Well, that's not honestly the truth that happens. So, keeping them confident, keeping them working hard. We got those seniors leading them that are saying, putting them arm around their shoulder and saying, hey, you're going to be fine. You got to bounce back the next day. So I think, I'm not sure where we're at with them right now. I mean, I think it's just we have good days and bad days with it. But if they buy in and they commit to getting better, I think we're going to see some great moments from them throughout this season.
So you're returning junior guard Lauren Dickerson. I'm sure you knew a question about her was coming. She already passed the 1,000-point mark last season. What kind of impact this preseason has she had both on and off the court?
I think when everybody watches Lauren Dickerson on the court, obviously, all 5'4", 5'5" of her, she can score. She's been able to distribute. I know one of her goals this year is to have a little more balance. I think if we have a few more scores this year around her, to be able to get that assist total up and that individual game average up, which in turn I think is going to make that assist to turnover ratio go up in a positive way. I think what I'm most proud about Lauren so far is, she's naturally a pretty quiet kid and shows a lot of things through her game, and I think she's really embraced now as she's an upperclassman. It's another avenue that she has to bring that vocal leadership, whether it's one-on-one with a freshman, whether that's when, they're on the court and it's 5 of them in a huddle. She's running that huddle, and she's got to be confident to step up in her abilities because she knows what's going on out there for sure. Every day I say a little prayer, thankful to have her on our team and just to see her maturation. She's doing phenomenal off the court. She's really embodying what a Miami Red Hawk means, and she's embraced that, some of my weaknesses, I'm going to make them into strengths. And she, day by day, is maturing and growing. And I think the young people below her hopefully have a great role model that they can watch her work ethic every day, and then her leadership and positivity as well.
Last season, you did make it up to Cleveland for the MAC tournament. What are your initial goals for the team this season?
Yeah, it's fun when you taste a few more victories than in the past and you get to go straight to Cleveland. I think that the team is hungry about that, and I want them to talk about winning. I want them to talk about what it felt like to go to Cleveland for the first time in a long time for our program. And then as our job as a coaching staff is to, get them back down and making sure we're not looking too far ahead. But we reference different people on our schedule. We reference different players in our league just to get them that extra motivation. I think the expectations have risen, but it's nothing we don't talk about every day in practice, and just expectations for the staff too to keep growing. And like I said, it's a day-by-day thing, and hopefully by the time we're talking January, February, and March, when it matters the most, we're playing our best basketball.
Thank you. Good luck this season.
Thanks, guys.